So my name is Michelle Saindon. I'm a math teacher here at Tunxis, and I am on the Center for Teaching that runs this event. And what I'd like to do is just start out by having our panelists introduce themselves. And the purpose of this event actually is just to have you hear from these students. These students have all been at Tunxis for a little bit, and they've all done really well. And so I'd like you just to hear from them what they've done during their time here to be successful. I'd rather you hear it from them than from me. So they've been in your shoes, they are in your shoes, and they're doing well. So let's hear what they have to say. So we'll start with introductions of our panelists, how long you've been here, what your major is, and we'll start with Gina. Okay.
Hi, I'm Gina. I'm at my second to last semester at Tunxis, hoping to graduate in the spring of 2019. I'm taking the prereqs for a radiology program, which I think I still want to do, not sure. I'm a mother of 2 girls, 10 and 4, and I feel like I've been here forever.
Hi, I'm Sage. I'm the president here of the Student Government Association. I'm also a human services major, and I've been here about 2 years. I should be graduating in 2 semesters as well.
Hi, I'm Nathan. I've been here for 2 years, and general studies is my major. And I would like to transfer to UConn for pre-med to be a pediatrician.
Peter Odell, history major. It's my second year here. Planning to graduate next spring.
Nice. All right, well, thank you so much for taking time out to share your stories with everybody. I really appreciate it. There's also a lot of faculty and staff in the room. I said I'm Michelle. I'm part of the math department here. So if you are faculty or staff, can you just real quick, just so we can put names with faces, raise your hand and just introduce yourself real quick. Quick introduction. Start with Amy, our academic dean.
Hi there. I am the interim academic dean here at the college, so if you have any problems, I'm a good resource for you to come to see or just questions, and I sit over in the counseling and advising office.
Amanda Burkhart over in the Academic Success Center. I coordinate the tutoring program.
I'm Sam Capros. I'm the career counselor here. I'm in the Academic Advising and Counseling Center.
I'm Sue Lamsbury. I also teach math.
I'm Debbie Bradford. I teach developmental English.
Okay, here.
Yeah.
I'm Joyce Boise, and I teach first year experience as well as math.
We feel the same way.
I am the early childhood education program coordinator.
I'm Rachel Highland. I'm reference librarian.
I'm Marguerite Gallen. One of the classes I teach is first year experience.
Anybody else we missed? And Mike Zich is doing the recording. Thank you, Mike. Hiding behind a chair. I would love it if you could take out a notebook. I know for my students, and I'm sure for the FYE students and everybody, you might hear some tips in the next hour that you think you'll remember, but you might not. So just bullet points as we go. If there's things you hear repeatedly or something that you didn't know, you need to write it down. Okay. All right, and our first topic for the panelists is going to be time management. Time management. So what I'm wondering, I think time management gets in the way for a lot of students getting their work done. And also along with that comes procrastination and distractions. So if the panelists can just talk about how you manage your time, what you do to manage your time to make sure everything gets done in your life between work, family, your studies, everything, and some of the strategies that you use. And anybody can begin.
Okay.
Thank you, Sage.
Hi. So for my time management, I definitely use my phone a lot. I use planners. I'm sure everyone's heard of iCloud, but my favorite thing about iCloud and using my phone is that I can plug in events, my classes, things like this, and it'll be on my laptop. I can log in to a computer here to iCloud on my phone, and it's there everywhere. I can set alerts, and that's been a huge help for me because I need to constantly be reminded. I have so many things going on. I have a full semester of classes. I work. I'm on student government. There's something every day, and I am bound to forget. So being constantly reminded, having something that will make a sound and literally remind me or pop up on my screen. I think we all have a device at this point and can use that to really implement our time management and schedules.
I think time management is like a trial and error thing. Like, every semester is going to be different. Every day could be different. For example, I go by 3 other people's schedules. I go by my 2 daughters' schedules. Those are completely different, and my boyfriend's. And that's how I make my schedule for school. So some days I'll have just Mondays and Wednesdays, all my classes this semester. I went to school every day of the week. I had to drop 1 class, made me a little depressed. But it was worth it because you have to think about, like, I'm taking AMP1, and that literally takes, 1 chapter can take about 5 hours just to study. So think I can't do 5 hours and take care of 2 kids, cook, and all that. So I had to drop the class. It made me a little sad, but it works out because I can just repeat it next semester, and then that'll be fine. My schedule changes daily. I just try to make time for everything. I arrange my classes from most important to least important, and I make sure I get the most important stuff out the way first, and whatever I can get away with after, I just leave that for last. Am I leaving anything out? I don't think so. I think that's what I got for now.
Thank you.
So I use the iCloud as well, and we try to do it as a family so that we can get everybody's schedule together. My cousin and I, we have a family schedule plan, so I see what's going to happen with the family and personal stuff, so I try to work along with that as well. I also have a printed copy at my desk, at my job, and on my books as well, on my phone as well, so I can be constantly reminded of when I have work due and what is going to happen with the family as well.
Peter?
Nothing to add.
How many people know what the iCloud is? Can you explain it a little bit more?
Sure. I wasn't really
Sounds
sure.
useful.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure until recently as well, but basically every iPhone has iCloud, and it's completely free. It's storage that is off of your phone. So we all have those triggers where you get, you have too much storage, you have to get it off your phone. iCloud is a place where you can send it, and it's going to store everything: pictures, files, homework, videos, everything, your schedule, a calendar. You just go to iCloud.com, you log in with your Apple ID and password, and it's all there.
So it doesn't cost anything?
It doesn't cost
It's
anything.
free.
It's completely free.
For unlimited amount?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, unlimited amount. It's,
Okay.
Gina just said it's similar to Google Drive, which I've never used, but that may be a comparison.
Yeah, Google Drive is pretty much the same thing. It's from Gmail. You just click on it, it pretty much saves all your stuff. But like my fellow panelists said, I also have a marker calendar at home that I use. My 2 daughters have sheets of calendars that I hang up on the wall beside that, so I see their schedules. My boyfriend's schedule pretty much stays the same, so I just work around that. I do use a planner, this big old planner. I like it because it has big stuff. I can write big stuff, tell myself get it together when I start slacking. I do use the stuff on my phone, calendars on my phone. Recently, for the student panel, she was emailing me, and she kept apologizing. Saying, no, keep sending me the emails. I'll get back to you eventually. It doesn't matter if you send me 25 in 1 week. Keep sending them so I can know that, I can pay attention to it. But I think pretty much it's better to write everything down. Don't forget, nothing. Every little thing, write it down. Sticky notes, important. Sticky notes on your ears, sticky notes on the walls. I think that's the best thing to use is sticky notes. That's how you remember everything, because you just stick them on everything you use.
So we have 2 panelists that just walked in. Welcome. Woo! Thank you for coming. Do you mind introducing yourself? What's your major? How long have you been here, and what are you doing now? You just have to hit the button and make sure it's green.
My name is Chisom Arinze. I recently graduated from UConn with a molecular and cell biology major. I'm working at UConn Health Center right now as a research assistant while I'm applying to medical school.
My name is Ashily Varghese. I just graduated from UConn with a computer science and engineering degree. I was here for 2 years.
And Chisom, how long were you here for?
I was here for 2.5 years.
Nice. Okay. Great. Thank you. So one thing I don't think that you guys touched on, we talked about time management, but what about procrastination and distractions? I know with the phones and everything, video games, all of that is really part of what's happening every day for everybody. So how do you deal with the distractions of life?
I literally ignore everybody.
Yeah, she didn't email me back either.
I do. A lot of family members don't understand how important school is. You're not getting paid to do it. You're not getting a paycheck every week. It's a waste of time. You might gotta get a job. You've spent all these years in school, et cetera, et cetera. Don't listen to them. If they can't understand that school is your goal, that you want to go through something and be a part of something bigger than just a little job, then you need to cut them off immediately. Talk to them another semester, another day, talk to them about holidays, but literally just put your phone to the side and just focus on what you need to focus on, because no one else is going to do it for you. You have to do it. You want it, then you need to go out and get it. I do procrastinate sometimes. I get tired. A&P drives me crazy. I'm like brain fried by the time I'm like 1 hour reading one chapter. So like, I will.
Anatomy and physiology, A&P.
Yeah, sorry about that. It's anatomy and physiology 1, but it'll kill your brain cells before you even understand one thing in there.
But you can do it.
Yes. But pretty much, like I said, I just go to my room. I tell myself, if I don't want to repeat, I don't want to get a low grade, that I need to get this done, I need to make it by the deadlines, and that pretty much gets me going. Like, I'm repeating A&P 1 for a second time. I do not want to repeat it again. I don't. So it's like, get it together, Gina, do it. Just do it and hurry up and get it over with. And I pretty much beat procrastination by that. But I always end up kind of getting to like the deadline point, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to rush and do everything at the last minute. So that's probably the one thing I'm terrible at, but I do get it done, and I don't like waste time. Wasting time is bad. Don't do that, because then it'll just be loads and loads of homework, and you'll get overwhelmed, and you'll probably just want to drop everything at that one moment. So don't procrastinate.
Well, I think we all procrastinate, but it's just how we manage our time around it. For me, I try to time myself for every single thing, like how long I watch a TV for, how long I read for, how long I study for. So I try to time myself for everything. With every assignment, I try to schedule a time for that as well. For example, for math, that you got to put a lot of time in that, so I schedule more time for that, reading and stuff like that. I also have timed on my phone how long I go on certain social media apps, like schedule time for the day, and it automatically turns off the phone if I surpass that time. So that's what I do.
And also include, like, if you don't know how to study for so long, just give yourself a break, maybe like 15 minutes break. If you study for an hour, give yourself 15 minutes break, go do something you like maybe watch YouTube video, Netflix, whatever that gets you going, and then come back to studying. It does help too. And for procrastination, yeah, we all do procrastinate, like some of my panels to say, but it's how you manage the time. And if you know you have an exam next week, how about you take the exam and then maybe Friday take yourself out? That just helps you to keep going.
One thing I realized is that I tend to procrastinate when I'm overwhelmed. So if I have a big exam or a big homework that's due, I just start it right away and divide it into, like, if it's due in 2 weeks, I divide it into small pieces. So even if I only work like 45 minutes a day, it seems doable than like doing it, like sitting there for 4 hours and finishing it. So I do that. And I also use the Pomodoro technique, where you study for 20 minutes, then you take a 5-minute break. And once you do it 3 times, you get a 30 minutes break. So it's small chunks of time rather than like studying 1 hour. And sometimes I like time that, like the time I really study instead of like the time I just sit in front of my computer. So you think you studied 1 hour, but you only really concentrated for 20 minutes. So once you know like how much time are you spending for each day, you tend to realize that you're not really studying anything. So once you have that like numbers in front of you, it's easy to like add more small amount of time to that. And sometimes I turn off all, like, my phone if there's a big text coming up. So.
Just have to make time for priorities.
Did anyone else download the new iOS in the past week or so? Because it tells you how much screen time you've had in the past week. I woke up the other morning and there it was, boom. How many? I won't tell you what it was, but it tells you your screen time in the past week is, and it tells you the number. So it's really a reality check. That could help with your procrastination and kind of, tell you what you're doing all week.
It's also helped to be realistic with your studying. You can't study for 4 hours straight. You can't do a work for 5 hours, 6 hours straight. So it helps to be realistic with how much work you can do for yourself. So you can just do that amount, and then you can do something that you like, maybe watch a movie or something, and then come back to it again.
I think time management and procrastination go hand in hand. So in order to not procrastinate so much, you need to have your days scheduled out so you have, time to do stuff. I agree with my fellow panelists that you can't study for 4 hours straight. I know I said that I do that with A&P, but it's not a good idea. But the chapter itself, for example, let me give you an example. The chapter could be like 30 pages long, and it has a bunch of details. You literally can read, split the chapter in quarters. Read this, take like a 10-minute break, go drink some water, refresh yourself, and then get back to it. Or you can read half the chapter and then just save the other half for another day. That way you can have time to actually understand what you're reading and then have time to refocus your brain cells so you're not going crazy. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
So let's get a feel for the audience. I want to know how many newer students we have. How many people are here? This is their first semester at Tunxis. Hands up. First semester. Look around. Woo. What about second semester here? Second semester? Nice. So who's in their second year? Third semester here. Hands up. Okay. Any more than that? More than 3? All right, so we do have a lot of brand new students here, first semester. They could really use your advice. So we talk about that overwhelm, and this is October, and this is really when the overwhelm starts to kick in. And, the honeymoon period is over, everything's new, and the tests are coming, the papers are coming, and the work doesn't stop, right? Is everybody feeling that? So in order to fight overwhelm, we do have a lot of resources on campus to help you. We have a lot of extra help, so I won't tell you what they are. But I'm wondering what resources you used on campus to help fight overwhelm. And it's not just about studies. It could be financial, it could be personal, or all of your work. So what resources have you used on campus to help you get through?
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
My least favorite subject is math. I have struggled with math forever, and thankfully I met Michelle at Tunxis, and we had 2 semesters together, and she really helped me through. She's a great professor anyway, but she really encouraged Algebra Lab, which is a place that you can visit to go get extra help with your math courses. Any questions that you have, you can just go in there and sit and do your homework as a quiet study. And if you have just a simple question, there's professors there. Maybe your professor is there and they can answer your question. But there's also other labs besides Algebra Lab, writing labs, language labs, and so forth that help you with whatever course you may be in that you're struggling. That was a huge for me. We also have one-on-one tutoring. We have group tutoring. We have the Academic Support Center where you can go, again, to just sit and quiet study. There's professors around, there's tutors, professional tutors there that you can ask questions, and there's other students that you may see from your class that are there, and you can form a little student group study as well. There are so many options, but there's also professor office hours, which is huge. Going to see your own professor after class, you get one-on-one feedback from your professor. They'll talk to you about maybe where you're struggling and how they can accommodate you and your situation, because every student learns differently. So that is a great way to learn how to better your own self in your studying. The library is a great place to go just to study, find resources, and I'm trying to think what else. think that's it.
Going off what she said, don't just go to one tutor. You may not like the first tutor you get. Everyone teaches differently and everyone learns differently. So you might have to go to the academic support or the reading and writing lab a few times before you find someone that works well with your needs. The library does have a lot of stuff. I actually met Nate in last semester in the A&P room. We were studying together. They have everything you need from the lab in that A&P room. They also have an A&P2 room. They have plenty of group study rooms in there that I use as well. It's very quiet in there. The ladies that work in the library are great. I believe Rachel, the Holocaust class that I dropped, I just recently went to her. No, don't laugh, that's not funny. But she helped me out. She helped me out with the resources. She helped me out with the online stuff that I needed to find. I visited Sam. Is he still in here? Yeah. Oh, Sam. I was questioning whether or not the radiology program was what I wanted to do, and he helped me out with some stuff. He gave me details about all the other colleges surrounding Tunxis and what they can offer me. My advisor, Debbie Bradford back there, she is the best. I literally go to her office and cry to her all the time when I'm overwhelmed, and she puts me in my place. I've been to the counseling center, and I cried there too. I'm a crybaby. But I think it's good to get your emotions out so you're not so overwhelmed. So sometimes I'll just go there and be like, I'm just having a bad day. Can I just sit and cry for a second? They'll be like, go ahead, just sit and cry. I use, what else? I know all the security guards, I don't know why, but they're good help too. I think most important, you need to build relationships. So like doing all these things, you build relationships. I've gotten special permission to use or be in rooms by myself with other fellow students. I've gotten, you get respect. It's good to have these connections. It's not about what you know, it's who you know, and I think that's how you survive in Tunxis.
The good thing about these stuff that they're all free. You don't pay for them. They're here for you to use them. Don't be afraid to use them. The people are always welcoming. You can just go there whenever you need help, and they can help you. Don't be afraid to go. Don't be afraid to go. I use all the resources here. Every single thing I've used so far from being here. I've used the academic support center, the library, the algebra lab, reading writing lab, statistics lab, everything. And number one, try to know your counselor. Get to know your counselor on a really good friend-to-friend basis or even a professional basis. But try to get to know your counselor because they're really there to help you and guide you along your way throughout your Tunxis school life here.
Library is great. There's a lot of books. A lot to learn.
No, I feel like they said everything, like the academic support center, the library, the algebra, other labs. I feel like I've said anything, but like just emphasize on creating effective study groups, not just groups you go and you guys talk all day, but like groups that help you study and know your method of studying very good, because like some people are visual, while some people, they like to listen to stuff. So like just know what way works best for you and use that way.
Yeah, and go to office hours. Like your professors are here to help you, and you would get to know them, and that would make your class easier. So.
Okay. Yeah, the office hours are on your syllabus, so you have to dig it out. You got to find that syllabus, and or just know where to find your instructor. And somebody mentioned finding your counselor, which we call your advisor here, and this is how to find your advisor. You don't want to self-advise, and you really want to make a connection with your advisor every single semester. Go talk to them. They're there for you. It's part of their job to help you. And it's right on my ComNet. If you just want to write this down while we're chatting, everything is on my ComNet or the Tunxis website, a lot of resources. But please don't self-advise. We can't answer specific questions about your major today, but your advisor can help you find those answers. So please, please, please don't just sign up for classes in the spring on your own. You're supposed to find your advisor, make an appointment with them, tell them your specific situation, and they will help you to choose the right classes. Okay. So I'm just going to put in, they talked about the algebra lab. I'll put a plug in for the algebra lab, which is right down here next to the English lab. I can go back to that. These are the hours of the algebra lab, and it's just drop in, low stress. It should be a place where your math anxiety decreases because we have a lot of help. You don't have to make an appointment. And you can work at your own pace and just raise your hand when you need some help, and they'll help you through that problem and then kind of kick back and leave you alone until you ask for help again. So just think about being at home doing math and what a struggle that can be. And here you should just do your math homework in the algebra lab and then have that person come and help you push you through the problem, and you can keep moving and learn. Debbie, do you want to talk about the English lab?
So the panelists were talking about the reading and writing lab. That's the old name for the English lab, so same place, same helpful people, same resource. And we have pretty extensive hours. I believe it's 9 to 2 on Friday.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. But anyway, we're next door to the algebra lab, and it's a walk-in center, and you can come for any part of the reading or writing process. Many students are required to go. And we also help FYE students and ESL levels 5 and 6.
Okay. I'll go back to, we also have a statistics lab that's new. I don't know if this is going to work. There we go. So just on Tuesdays from 10 to 4, if you're not taking statistics now, but you're going to be, just know that that lab is there for you, and just got to check out the hours in the Academic Success Center. So I'll go back to the advising, so you can, I saw some people writing this down. Okay. So let's talk now about personal connections. It's really important not to be isolated. I think somebody said about making good connections and finding good people to study with. And if you have connections here on campus, you just make a few friends, study buddies. It can make a big difference. So how did you do that? It's one thing to say I found, but how did you do that? I think it's a hard thing to do. How did you make connections on campus?
I told them, be my friend. Like I said, I met Nate in the A&P room, and like we just, I don't know, you gotta know your friends. Like you can't just be friends and wanna go study with everybody, because like she said, you get in study groups and then you get distracted instantly, just wanna talk and forget about class. But like when we did it, he was like, we sat there and we went down on everything. That was, like going into now, we're still friends, and like I begged him to help me the other day. I was like, oh my God, I need your help. I have my exams coming up. So it's good, because even if we don't talk out of school, at least when we come back to school, you have someone to count on and be like, hey, can you still help me out? Or like if you have time, that's good. My advisor, I've been seeing her since I've been coming here, and I don't know, we're friends. I talk to her about everything. I ask her for advice. I ask her, about scheduling, or if I should do this, I should that. But I don't just go to her. I also have connections with a lot of other professors. My art professor is another person. He's great. If you guys know him, Ben Roscran, take classes with him. He's very blunt. So if I'm going to him crying, he's going to be like, get it together, girl. Forget that professor or forget whatever class it was, and like, you got this. And I think it's important for connections, because that's what your support is. That support is going to motivate you to get through college. College is not easy. You will have your bad days, you will have your great days, but it is overwhelming. It is a job. It's a job. You don't get paid for it, but it's a job in another sense. But like I said before, it's not about what you know, it's who you know, and I think that's how you get through anything in life, with personal connections.
Okay, so when I first started out about 2 years ago, I was extremely shy. I would come to school and I would leave right away. And I became a human services major and was encouraged to join the Community Outreach Club, which is where I met the, at the time, current vice president and president of the student government. And after my first meeting, we ended up staying, just the three of us, talking for about an hour. And they realized that I really wasn't shy. I just wasn't sure what my passions were, and I was intimidated to talk to other people. But really, I am kind of outspoken and like being a leader, which has brought me to be president of student government today. I joined Human Services Club, which is my major. We have many clubs. We have 22 clubs that align with what your major may be. We have art club, we have business club, again, community outreach, criminal justice, dental assisting, engineering club, which is new, it's fantastic, gaming club, got pride club, and so many more. I have an entire list here, and I think Michelle also has a slide. Student government, everybody here that is a student is a part of student government because you pay a student activities fee when you become a student. So you're already a part of student government, which means you can come to our meetings, which are twice a month. They're the second and fourth Thursday of every month. And outside of Founders Hall, there's a sign that says student government, and it says when our next meeting is gonna be. They're always at 3, but they're always the second and fourth Thursday of every month. And student government is a great way to learn about what's going on campus, the new activities that we have coming on, really anything that is up and coming and new. We get student feedback, and it's just a great way for students to communicate with staff and faculty and also to have our student voice. It's a great way to collaborate and to get what we want as students, but to also become professionals and work with our advisors and our professors and get what they want and get good grades out of that. So I can't encourage joining clubs enough and coming to a student government meeting. I would love to meet you guys and to talk more about it. We have a student government office, which is right inside of the student lounge in Founders Hall. So stop by and visit. You won't regret it.
So anybody else? Where do you hang out on campus?
Everywhere. I think you can find me anywhere, everywhere. I literally, like she said, you have to encourage other students to get together. In every class, I think I have a study group. I force them to get together because I don't think it's.
You all need to be in class with Gina. She's going to organize everybody.
Me like the cheerleader of school. Like I literally force people to get together because I know what it is to be alone and not get help. And you are not alone here. You have friends who are going through different things, but you can understand them on a different level. And these study groups are most important because you're building relationships with people who are just like you. They want the same goals as you, and they will encourage you. You think you're failing, you think you're not, and the next person is in the same boat as you. You may think, oh my God, I didn't do my paper, it's due tomorrow. Half the class didn't do their paper, and it's due tomorrow. I guarantee you, you're not alone. Don't be scared to ask for help. Never feel belittled or like stupid for asking for help. You're not. I guarantee you, many students are in the same boat as you, and I encourage you to join many groups and get along with all your fellow students. It's probably the best thing you can do at college.
Where do you guys hang out on campus? Where do you get your work done?
Library.
Library.
Again, a lot of books. But there's a lot to learn, so, the more you learn, the more you earn, so.
Anybody else?
I hang out the open area, like outside 16-year building. Like there you can see like some people passing. I wouldn't say like walk up to people, but like if you've seen them in your class and you didn't get the chance to talk to them while you were in class, you can walk up to them then and just start a conversation. Like ask them, how's their mom? I mean, yeah, that's a great conversation starter. I don't know, but like just ask them something, you never know. Yeah, that's a good way to start a conversation, and you never know. Like they might know somebody that is in a different class that you in, and they can introduce you to that person, and yeah, you just start making friends and know people, yeah.
Awesome, anybody else?
Well, where you hang out help you get to find good people to study with. So I'm kind of like a shy person at first, but I hang out in the library, in the AMP study room, or in the academic support center, or in the algebra lab, or the reading writing lab. And then you'll meet people there who are going through the same situation like you're going through, and then you can start a conversation about that. Because when you're in class, you're not many times you're going to be able to talk to people in class. So in that area, you're going to see them there, and you can start a conversation about what you don't understand and what you need help with, and then you can help each other, and then you can start a friendship from there, and then you can blossom into something else elsewhere.
So I really do think that the English lab and the algebra lab are just built-in study groups. You don't really need to have somebody to go with. You end up going, you end up seeing the same people over and over, you end up overhearing conversations, and it just becomes a big study group where you can relate to other people. So try it out. So I want to switch gears to, I'm wondering how many people in the room already know what they want to major in and what their plan is? How many people already chose their major? Wow, good. And how many people did not already choose their major? And you're just general studies right now. Hands up, general studies. Okay, wow, good. So I'm wondering from our panelists, did you come to Tunxis already with you knowing what you wanted to do and it just worked itself out? What was your story?
No. I didn't, to this day, I kind of question any, so I wanted to do dental hygiene, and then, I don't know, I changed my mind. I don't want to do procedures on people where I can actually hurt them or kill them, I don't know. So I changed to radiology because you're just doing a procedure on them, and then you're sending them on their way. I don't really have to do anything with them, but there's things that you should look into. Like, you don't want to go to school, and then you find out that there's no jobs in the career you spent 4 or 5 years in school for. So that's where Sam comes in place. He can help you out with the information, and any questions you have, please go to him. He is great. He's awesome. But also look into schools. Different schools offer different things, and it could be the same program, but it could just offer you more or less. It could be cheaper in other schools, or they ask for different prerequisites. I know the radiology program at other schools asks for like public speaking, but the one at Capital won't. So that can be like a pros and cons of that. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yes, I knew I wanted to do something in the sciences, but it is very good to keep an open mind when you're just coming in, because it helps you to like explore. You never know what you can find out. So just talk to people about what you're interested in, and maybe professors or even your fellow students as well. They will help you like maybe create a part for you if you're interested in something. So just, if you're open at this point, it's very good. Just keep an open mind. You never know what may happen.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what I want to do. When I came here, I thought I was going to do nursing, and then I switched to pre-pharmacy. I didn't like the AP classes. So I took some math classes and one programming classes. I liked it, so I switched my major to computer science and engineering. And I was sure that I want to transfer to UConn, so I made sure that all my, at least most of my credits transfer. So that's one thing you have to discuss with your advisor and find out how much of your credits would transfer. So you have to make sure about that. And other than that, explore, go to different classes to see if you like them. Especially your freshman year, first semester of your sophomore year, you have time to figure out what you like. So don't be forced into choosing a major, but at the same time, keep in mind that there is a small timeline that you have to look for.
And we do have a counselor here that's dedicated, our transfer counselor, Kelly Pittman. So if your advisor can't help you or doesn't have information on the college that you want to go to, we have a dedicated person here. So you want to make an appointment with Kelly Pittman. What about you? Peter, did you want to be a librarian? Or
No, actually, no, I didn't want to be a librarian. I'm probably going to do a double major with government. I like politics, so I'm probably going to do that depending on where I transfer. History, government, You just got to find what you're passionate about. So, and then use the major as a way to get there.
Well, I knew I wanted to do something in the medical field, so I went to speak with my advisor, and then she directed me on the courses and stuff to take towards to get to that point. So I'm doing general studies right now just to cover all the prerequisite for the medical field. And I know not many people know what they want to be or what they want to do, but it's good to have an open mind and to try other stuff and venture in other areas to see what you like and what you can do and what you want to do when you grow up and work. So it's good to have an open mind and try to be open. If you're not sure, try a lot of stuff just to see what works for you and what fits for your personality and stuff like that.
So Sam, I'm going to put you on the spot. He's talking. So when they do come to you for career advice, what happens?
I tell them to leave. you along your way, like I did with Gina there. I'll fix her life a little bit, hopefully. But we have, it's basically a conversation of what you like to do, what skills do you have, and how much schooling will you need to get them. So, you know, if you don't want to take 8 years of science and you want to go into medical, maybe not, depending on what it is, but it's a pretty good conversation.
Yeah, the placement testings are kind of fun. It's just a bunch of random questions. Do you like the color pink? Or do you like helping people? Or do you like driving a car? And then it's all 5 minutes. They're all fun, but it's good because it kind of lets you know what you like, and you probably won't even be aware of the things you like. Like, I think the career thing that came up on mine was something about helping, like counseling or something like that. And naturally, I help people. You see, I make them be my friend and get in study groups with me. So, yeah, I think it's a good thing. Even if you don't want to bring it back to him, just do it for fun. I mean, I don't have the email or anything like that you gave me, but go see him. You can get it yourself if you go see him, and he'll give you the
It's
pamphlet.
in the advising and counseling office. But I think a lot of people probably took one of those career surveys in high school, and you think, oh, I did that already. But every time you take it, you might, you grow and you change, and you might get a different result based on your new experiences. So just, be open to taking it again, and you might get a different result. So is anybody in the audience in an online class, currently in an online class? Okay. And so I'm wondering, you might be thinking, what are online classes like? What are the pros and cons? Is this for me? And I actually don't even know. Have any of our panelists taken an online class? 1, 2, 3. So if you could just tell everybody a little bit about your experience, good and bad.
Okay. I am in favor of online classes, but it really, for me, depends on the online class that I'm taking. It's a lot of reading. It's definitely more independent work. It's very helpful to print out your syllabus and every piece of material that is posted for an online class, and have a separate binder and maybe even a separate planner for your online class, because I'm in one right now amongst 3 other classes on campus. So it can get confusing. You're not actually physically seeing that class or seeing a professor every day, so it almost falls through the cracks. But if you have the syllabus and you see, what's coming up in that coming week, or a paper or an exam, it comes up so quickly and you don't realize. Using the professor's email that they provide is a necessity. With that, for almost every assignment, we'll have a question or clarification, just to make sure that we're on the same page, because just like sending a text message, something can be misinterpreted so easily. And so when it's coming to school and an assignment, you want to make sure you're getting exactly what they're looking for, and you're not doing too much or too little or completely off the grid on what you're doing. I think that it takes personal reflection and knowing yourself when you're choosing an online class. I know that I couldn't do a math course online. I've done things like sociology, history, things where I'd be reading and writing or doing a lot of responses. I know that I can handle that, but that would be something that you would have to know about yourself before taking a class. You can't not do it. It just takes a lot more self-determination and perseverance, reaching out, being able to go to they also have office hours. It's not just email. You can go in and also see them in person.
My online class was up for a personal finance class. It was a little bit different than what she said, but you can lose track of time. So with my online class, we had to respond to other students, and not just, we had to respond with the full sentence or paragraph and a citation of where we got our answer from or discussion from. We had to respond at least once before Wednesday and at least 3 times in the week. The only thing is, it's not Facebook or social media, so it's a level of professionalism, but sometimes you want to break the ice with the other students, so I had to write out haha, or that was funny, and not LOL or LMAO. My professor was actually an out-of-state professor, so he did not have office hours. So it can get tricky because you want that physical interaction and you want to know about them, and you can't. It's just through email. So I think all professors see students the same way in the front and then in the beginning, and then you have to work your way up to be that student that they're like, yeah, I can count on this student. She's not a slacker or whatever. But being on an online class, they won't know you because they're not meeting with you physically. I did get emails at times like, you're not participating enough, you need to write more. It is a lot of research on your own. It is a lot of citations. It's time consuming, I want to say. Deadlines are important. They're not lenient. They can be nice, but they're not lenient. There's no makeups. There's none of that. Your exams are timed. They need to be sent in before midnight every Sunday. It's like she said, it's very you got to have that self-motivation. You have to do it. You just, like she said, write it down because you can easily forget that your online classes, you can't just, like any other class, you can't just be like, oh, I'll wait till next week to do it. No, you have to do it within that week. It's like the deadlines are so important. And you must have a working computer. They do not care if your computer breaks. You're taking an online class, you must be responsible for your own computer. They will not give you extra time at all. At least with my professor, he didn't. And he actually told me that you are responsible for your own stuff. I'm sorry, I cannot help you. So it was like reality check real quick. But it wasn't a bad class. It was a good class. I did learn a lot. I don't want to make it seem like it's all bad. You can do it in your pajamas. You could do it in your bed. You can, have to wake up early. So, there's good stuff about the online class, but maybe not take it with the full other classes. Maybe take it like if you're taking 3 classes a semester. That way you can keep up with it and it doesn't become so overwhelming.
Yeah, I'm taking my first online class this semester, and it started out a bit rough because I did not understand what was going on with the technology base for the online class, where to go get the assignments and where to post it, and it was not clear on the instructor's end. But it's gradually getting better, and you gotta be self-motivated, as she said. You got to print out all the stuff because it's not due once a week, it's due twice a week and different times and all that other stuff. And it's a lot of work, but you just got to put in the work to get it done. It can be easy based on what subject or course you're taking the online class, but it differs based on the individual and how they can manage their time and do the assignments and stuff like that.
I'd like to mention, I teach an online math class, and it really is important for you to email. It's not that this computer is teaching you the course. There's an actual person that's there to help you. So you really do have to reach out and stand out. You can use all of the resources on campus, even if it's an online class. So it doesn't mean you're online and you're home by yourself. You can still use the library. You can still use the algebra lab. And, whatever resources are on campus are still available to you as a Tunxis student. So come to campus to work on it, the library, everything, and ask for help.
I'd just like to add one more thing about Blackboard. It can be very intimidating submitting work and figuring out how to submit work. There is on everybody's Blackboard, a video posted on how to use Blackboard, and you can come to the campus as well and ask questions on how to submit, how to respond, and where all of the tabs are on the side and what each one means. It's like learning a new social media outlet. It's maybe confusing at first, but you will get the hang of it, and once you get it, it's so simple.
Thank you. So anybody have any questions? Or do any of the other staff or faculty have anything you want to pop in and add to what they're saying? What are you wondering? Any questions? Anybody? Okay, I have another question. So very open-ended. All of the people that are here, didn't hesitate when I asked them to be on the panel. They all like it here, right? And I don't want to misspeak, but I think had good experiences and did well. So, you wanted to be here for a reason. Like, what do you wish you knew coming into Tunxis? What do you wish somebody told you before you got here? What do you wish you can just go back and know, and it would have made your life a little bit easier?
Well, thanks to my FYE class, they covered everything that I needed to know. So I didn't really wish I knew anything that I didn't know.
First year experience. Who's in first year experience now? Raise your hand. Good.
How many of you think it's boring? I guarantee you're gonna think it's boring, you're gonna hate it, you probably won't even like you probably fall asleep in class, but you will leave that class and everything you learned in that class, you're going to take in all your other semesters. You're gonna be like, oh my God, FYE this, I did it. It was boring, but I realized everything I learned, I took with me throughout the whole time I've been at Tunxis. So it's a good class, everyone should take it.
Thank you.
I wish I knew that everyone, all the professors, staff, and faculty are genuinely here to help you, genuinely has some piece of information that they can share with you that you might not think that they know your story, they know what you're here for, but every single person I have spoken to has brought me to where I am right now. I started out as a general studies major, and I took FYE classes before it was a necessity to take as a first-year student, and I started taking different classes, and I met my wonderful advisor today through Human Services, and she has guided me and helped me to realize that I want to do social work and that I like to lead and I like to help others, and I don't think that I would have ever figured that out if I didn't open myself up to hearing what others around me had to say.
I think one thing I wish I knew was that you can make your own schedule. I think I would have started school sooner had I known that there was a daycare here at Tunxis. I did have my child young, and I think without knowing or realizing that I could make my own schedule or make it around hers, or I didn't have to be a full-time student to just be in school, I think I would have benefited. I probably would not even be here right now. I probably would have already graduated, and I think.
So you use the daycare?
No, I don't, because they close early, and I have classes that are till like 9:25. Okay. So yeah, I didn't really use the daycare, but I heard it's good, and I think the students also use that as a class. I'm not sure if anyone's in child development.
So the Early Childhood Center is there for students. If you have children that are, if they're returning to, 3 by December 31st, they can start in September. And then if they're not turning 3 until after December 31st, then they can start when they turn 3. So let's say it's in February. So you would bring your registration of your courses to the Early Childhood Center, talk to the director, and they will plan the time for your child to be at the Early Childhood Center based around your course. Not only do you have time for the time that you're in your class, but you have additional time for tutoring, group studying, or meeting with your advisor and things like that. For students, you have a really good discount rate. It's under $3 an hour, so it's really, really great. And we are open 8 till 4, and then on Fridays we're open 8 till 1. And yes, it's used as a lab school for the early childhood education program. And so all of the classes in that program go there. It's an accredited preschool, so they go there to do observations, do hands-on experiences, as well as they create 2 assignments and 2 classes for family events. So there's family events that are happening, and that's arranged around what the students have created. So very soon they're doing a literacy family event, and it's awesome. It's awesome. Any other questions about that?
All right, thanks.
I think I brought my kids to school. It's good with making personal connections. I was a little bit embarrassed. I didn't have a babysitter. I actually started school before they did. And because I've made this reputation of the type of student I am, I was able to bring my kids to class with me. They enjoyed it, actually. It was a great experience. I didn't think that I could bring my kids to school, so when I did come, everyone treated them with respect. No professors questioned me. I felt safe. I think being here at Tunxis, it helped me find who I was, so it feels like home. I bring my kids here, they loved it. And with the Child Development Center, I think it's great, because you could be having a stressful day, and you'll see the kids passing by you singing these songs, and you're just like, oh, look at how happy they are. Wait till you're in college and doing what I'm doing. So it could be a little bit of a stress reliever being by the kids, watching them play outside. I do think that is a great thing that Tunxis has here, and I think it should be broadcasted more. I don't think it's out there that there is a daycare here, and I think other colleges should do the same and have it as a class.
We're working on, that's one of our goals, working on trying to get the students to know what's here.
Right.
And this year, the enrollment of student children has increased. And so, like I said, we're working on it, it's open to staff and faculty and the community and then the students, and that's primarily for you. And it's primarily for your child to get quality preschool experience. So, we are working and trying to get the word out. Thank you.
And I would just say, if you do bring your kids, you might just want to get instructor permission first, or just shoot them an email ahead of time. Every year seem to have accepted it very smoothly, but as you can probably guess that some may not. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody.
Yeah, I would not bring my children to the AMP class. No. That is a no. I would freak out. I would probably be scared to ask the professor. It was an art professor, so it's an art class. It's kind of safe in there for the kids to be in there.
Yeah.
But but you can't bring your kids to AMP class. That's a demanding class that you need to pay attention to, and no one's gonna allow a little child who's gonna, bother you the whole time. Yeah. So yes, do get permission. I only did it. I didn't ask him permission, but he brings his kids to class too sometimes, and I already knew it was gonna be okay. I had him 3 semesters in a row, so I knew it was okay. But yes, ask before you bring your kids, because the professor might not like it.
So anything else you wish you knew, or that you think you wish you knew before you just started college, not even at Tunxis?
Well, I want to add to that. I want all the students to use the Rate My Professor, or not just the bad stuff that you don't like, but the good stuff, so it can be helpful for other students when choosing the professor for their class. Because it's good to know what the professor does. For example, the teaching style that may works for you and may not works for you, so that's good too.
How many people use Rate My Professor before they sign up for classes? Not too many. The ladies at the end, anything to add, or Peter?
I would say you just take advantage of the opportunities, like the extracurricular, internships, the people here, they're willing to help you. So I don't think I really took advantage of that last year, but I have been this year. So definitely recommend doing that.
Need to talk to more people and stay after class and spend more time on campus. My first semester here, I would come to class and leave right after my classes, and I would think I can do all my homeworks alone. But it's easier if you have a study group and if you join clubs and if you know, if you take advantage of all the resources you have here. So.
Yeah, going off what they say about talking to people, I wish I knew there were so many resources to help me transfer to a 4-year college and pursue my bachelor's degree to continue my pre-med journey, because it's not about working much hard. I mean, study, do your studying, do your assignment, but it's about working smarter, talking to the right people about what you want to do in the future. So talking to the right people will help you to get the internships, the resources, answer the questions that you're asking, and all of that good stuff.
All right. Anybody else?
Yeah, I would say quantity, not quality. I mean, quality, not quantity, because staying until 3 a.m., 4 a.m. is not really worth it in the long term.
Nobody really mentioned the financial aid office, but I know it's a place that everybody kind of visits at the beginning. Your advisor really can't help you much with financial aid questions. A lot of the advisors will say you really need to go ask financial aid because everybody's in a different situation. But that office is there. Again, you have to go in, you have to make yourself known, you have to, don't compare yourself to somebody else with your financial aid situation. That's what I would say. Because somebody could say, well, I can't take a summer class but that doesn't mean that applies to you. So really go ask about your own individual situation. Does anyone have a financial aid experience or suggestions?
Going off by what she said, please go to the financial aid office. They offer you scholarships. I didn't know that. They also offer you scholarships for the summer. You can get the money and they'll pay for the summer for you. They have the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society. You guys probably already received emails. Don't ignore it. Do it. It's great. You put it on your resume. Get accepted anywhere. The only thing with the financial aid office is if there's a student helping you and you feel like you are not getting the accurate information, please ask to speak to a professor or someone else that's there, not trying to belittle the students who work there, but maybe not all of them have the accurate information. I've been in positions where the student did not have the right answers, and I asked to speak to someone else that did actually help me. So please don't always go with your first answer. Always seek more help if you feel like you are not satisfied with what answers they gave you.
Yep.
Also, if you have young children, the library has a great children's department with literature, so, it's hard for you to get to the library to promote, have that fun reading time. So go there and get those resources. And they also have the passes for, like, the Imagination Museum and the Mystic Seaport, and they're really great discounts, so it's offered for students and staff, but I didn't want to interrupt. I want to make sure, because that's for you. That's for you and your family. And maybe it's not your child. Maybe it's your sibling. Maybe it's your cousin. Maybe it's that type of, you deserve to take a break. You deserve to go out and have some fun, those little moments. And so that's available for you too.
Great. Yeah, I think I'll just jump in because my slide is up now. And I want to thank Peter for pointing out that there are books in the library. But there's so much more. And we think that the library is one of the nicest places on campus. I'm not afraid to say it in front of everybody. And we really, in terms of the time management that we started out with, that's a great place for you if you're spending all day here, whether you're looking to study or to relax. I don't know if you know, we have 2 fitness bikes that you can actually read or use a computer while you're riding, get some exercise. Hula hoop, take a little doze on a couch. We have all different kinds of places for you to study, singly, with a group, at a table, on a comfy chair, to charge your phone. So make the most of your time on campus, and we really do think the library is a great place to do that. Just making those personal connections. We, the librarians, we really try to know the professors and their assignments and what they're looking for. We're kind of like the secret information. We really want to help you succeed, and so come talk to us, and we will help with that. And not only with your academics, knowing where to go on campus. So remember that about us. And Joyce just mentioned the museum package. Is anybody taking art appreciation or art history? If you have to go to a museum, we have a museum pass, so you can get it for free. So just like every other department on campus, and I really thank the students for highlighting that, we really do care about you, and we want to make your life easier and better. And we never want to stop doing that. So please remember that.
Yes, use your ID for all the free stuff. You get into museums for like $5, but it's your ID is also your library card. So it's not the ID, it's really the library card that gets you the free stuff. But use your student ID just like you would use a military ID. Go get some free stuff at other stores or discounts at the art stores or anything like that. My art professor said that they don't really ID him at the art store, but he's like, I asked him if there was like a professor thing, and he was like, just go in there and pretend you're the professor and just get free stuff. I was like, okay, that works. But yeah, use your ID. I think it's great. There's multiple museums, and I think you can also rent out a ukulele from the library. The library is pretty much all around fun. And the ladies are very nice. Do not be afraid of them. They will help you with everything really politely. You could be upset, and they're like, oh my God, I would love to help help you. And you're just like, oh, heaven, make my life easier. Yeah, but they're really great there. I think the library is a real useful resource. Take a nap in there. I think they have like a meditation area.
Yes, we do.
Is that upstairs?
Downstairs.
Restroom in the silent area. I should point that out. The library isn't silent, except for one area is silent. So we expect regular conversation. But if you're somebody, and that would have been me when I was in school, I used to stack 7 by myself and study in silence. So there is a silent area there. So you'll find your place that you need to study.
It's beautiful. Speaking of your ID, I just wanted to talk about the food pantry that we have on campus. And just being a Tunxis student with a Tunxis ID, you can visit our food pantry twice per month and get up to 20 items per month that are on our shelves. It's in Founders Hall, and the hours are up here. You could read them, but it's no other proof of financial need. Just by being a Tunxis student, you can just go and take what you want off the shelves. And we know that being a student is expensive. Some of you have to cut down on your work hours or not work at all just to get your degree that and you're working so hard, and it's an impact on you and your family. So we know that, and we really want you to use it. And just feel free to use it, anybody. So yeah, there's open hours Monday through Thursday, 10:30 to 12:30. Bring your own bag if you want, or we'll give you one. But there's just somebody there that you sign a couple of pieces of paper, and then every time you go, you don't have to do that again. It's really, really easy and welcoming. Any other questions? Or I know we had Amanda was here for the Academic Support Center, where there's individual tutoring, and that's where the statistics lab is, and there's study space. Yep.
Also, if you take the public bus, don't use U-Pass.
Oh, you get a free U-Pass with your Tunxis ID.
Pass can be used on trains as well. So go on the bus and go take a trip, or go on the train. I just found that out. I didn't know your U-Pass could be used for trains, and I was like so excited because I was like, oh my God. So like if you go from like New Haven, it's cheaper. I think someone was like, you only pay like $10 for a trip. So get a U-Pass. Even if you have a car, get the U-Pass. You don't pay for it. It's free. It's useful. Use it.
It's the same place in the computer center that you get your ID, which we would love if you wore your ID all the time. But that's where you get your U-Pass, right, in the computer center?
With where you get your ID, I'm not sure, but I think we're supposed to all be wearing our IDs. The IDs are free because they just changed it. Go get your ID. Don't be scared. Just walk right up to them. I need my ID. I need my U-Pass. All you need is your schedule, and that's it. They'll just give it to you right there. But I'm pretty sure you're supposed to have the newer ID and wearing at all times,
yes,
just because of all the school things that's been going on around the world.
For security. We want to know who our students are. So,
I'd like to just add to that. Yeah, student government, we have a new initiative from President Lambella, and our initiative is that all students are to obtain and wear in some way your student ID. It's going to become a requirement. We're working on making posters and billboards that you're going to see around, and so it's free. The lanyard is free. You also have an option to wear it on your belt. So you have the option of this or wearing it on your belt, which is a little more discreet. There you go. So it will become a requirement, and you will see things being posted up very soon. There was one other thing I just quickly wanted to mention. We do have something at Tunxis called 15 to Finish, and a lot of students are unaware of it. Is anybody here taking 5 classes? Yes, some. So you guys then know that your 5th class here at Tunxis is free. You pay up to 4 classes, and then if you are able to take a 5th class, it's free. And so our goal here with the 15 to Finish is that you will take up to 15 credits a semester or 30 credits per year, and you'll then be able to graduate within the 2-year time at Tunxis. And it's all around great. I have information on it up here, but a lot of students don't know that if they're not working and they have time. I've had students come to me that say, I didn't realize that the 5th class was free, and I'm not working. I'm living at home. I don't have kids. I have that time. I could have saved money and graduated in 2 years. So that 5th class is free. If you have the time, it's awesome. It's great. And again, the IDs, I can't stress enough, super important. All you need is, again, your ID and your school schedule. And quickly, one more thing. I do have information on an open house that Tunxis is going to be having on October 23rd, 5 to 7, and I have a flyer for that up here as well.
So Chisom and Ashily, I know you were both in PTK, is that true? Can you tell everybody what that is and what you did and what it did for you?
Oh, PTK is Phi Theta Kappa. It's a 2-year community college honor program, and you get invited when you take, I'm not sure how many classes you have to take, but you have to maintain a GPA of 3.5 for both to be in there. So in PTK, you get opportunities for leadership positions, you get opportunities for scholarships, you get opportunities to participate in research projects, and you get yeah, I can't think of anything right now, but I'll let you guys know when I remember.
Scholarships. Are scholarships offered or available to PTK members?
The scholarships are available to PTK members, but you have to apply.
Yeah.
I think their website has a list of all the scholarships you can apply, and you get to meet a lot of people. That's where I think that's where I met Chisom. And I'm still friends with some of the people who transferred to UConn, so it's not just for 2 years here. You'll still keep, if you want to, you can still keep in touch with people. And I think we did a lot of, one cool project when we were here. I don't remember the name. So for me, it was mostly making connections. I made some friends, and I used to use their website a lot. So.
Okay.
I was also I am a part of the BTK. I think it's cute. You get inducted, you have a whole ceremony. Their parents come, you get lined up, they give you stuff. You actually have to say a whole little thing and raise your hand, and it's nice. Helen Lozada is great. She's the one that does the PTK. They do offer plenty of scholarships. She will email you every single scholarship that comes about. There's specific scholarships going to whatever majors you want. I think they're the ones that do the pantry as well, right?
They do some volunteering.
They do a lot of group projects. I know one was on homelessness. They're really great, and like I said, it's about connections. If you need a reference, Helen Lozada is a great reference, and she can direct you in any ways towards those scholarships or towards anyone in the professional field that might help you out. I think the PTK is great. Like I said, you probably have emails from them. Please join. This is something that is not just with Tunxis. This is worldwide. You can. It's a gateway. It's an open door to many opportunities, and I'm glad I joined it because you can put it on your resume, and it just represents you in a different way. It makes you it's a good title to have.
Nate, did you want to add?
Yeah, so there's a cost for enrollments. I think it's $80, but if you can't pay, you can get help from the financial aid office to pay the enrollment fee for you.
Good advice.
I think they have it where, I don't know the word for it, where someone pays for you. A sponsor, there we go. I think they do that. I think most of the students get into the program by sponsorship. I don't think any students really paid out of pocket for it. I don't know, I'm going to speak, but I know most of them get sponsored in.
Okay. So it is time to wrap up. I noticed that Agata Smirowski just walked in the back, and she is our Algebra Lab coordinator. So I talked a lot about the Algebra Lab, so I just asked her to come, actually, so that you can see her face, and she's the welcoming face you're going to see when you go in most of the time. And I wondered if anybody else in the room wanted to ask a question or mention anything else. I know there's other faculty here that have good information. Spencer?
It's just a more general question. I was wondering when you go to pick classes for second semester?
Good question. When do you go to pick classes? November 1st is when you start signing up, so that's really soon. And your advisor will have a list on their door so that you can sign up or you can email. You might get an email from your advisor, but if not, go find their door in the 100 building in the faculty area, and you can just sign your name and make an appointment with them that way. November 1st is really soon, right? I do want to mention that these guys will hang around. If you want to ask individual questions, please come up and ask. I know you don't maybe want to ask in front of everybody. I have information on the pantry up here as well and Thanksgiving baskets that we do. But thank you so much for your attention, and thank you to our panelists for coming. Have a great day.